And talking about LA, we need kindness in this world.
Oh my God.
And talking about
Billionaire in tears. Richard Branson drops $5 million to fly tennis star Alex Ella to his birthday party. Her speech left him sobbing. What's up, tennis lovers, scandal chasers, and everyone captivated by the insane intersection of elite sports and extreme luxury? Welcome back, your go-to source for the juiciest, most shocking stories from the tennis world and beyond. If you think you've seen it all, buckle up, because what I'm about to share is so extravagant, so emotional, and so surreal that it could easily be mistaken for fiction, but it's all true. This story centers on Sir Richard Branson, the British billionaire who founded Virgin Records, Virgin Atlantic, and Virgin Galactic. The same man who went to space for fun, survived multiple hot air balloon accidents, and still returns for more adventures. Worth an estimated $9 billion, he approaches life like one giant thrill ride. And for his 76th birthday, Branson didn't simply throw a party. He orchestrated what could arguably be the most expensive and emotionally moving celebrity appearance in tennis history. At the heart of this unbelievable tale is Alexandra Ella, the golden girl of Philippine tennis, the newly crowned Southeast Asian Games champion, and apparently the only person capable of making a billionaire businessman weep in front of the world's elite. This isn't just a story about money or status, it's a cultural collision of old money, emerging talent, and raw, unfiltered emotion. So grab a drink, sit back, and prepare for the night a 20-year-old tennis prodigy from Quezon City brought a 76-year-old billionaire to tears, and why this could mark a turning point for Asian tennis. The story starts with a number almost impossible to comprehend. $5 million. Not Grand Slam winnings, not a sponsorship, just $5 million for one guest at a birthday party. To contextualize, that's more than many WTA players earn in an entire career. That's more than the French Open champions' prize money. That's Beverly Hills mansion money, spent on a single night with a single person. But Branson isn't reckless. He doesn't spend $5 million without intent. This gesture wasn't about money alone, it was about recognition, admiration, and potentially the launch of a relationship that could redefine Ella's career. Sources close to the Virgin Empire reveal that Branson has followed Ella's rise quietly for years. Her recent performance at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games in Bangkok, where she carried her nation's hopes and ended a 26-year gold drought, apparently moved him profoundly. Watching her persevere under intense pressure, extreme heat, and the weight of a nation's expectations struck a chord with Branson, whose own career was built on taking impossible risks. Branson's journey mirrors Ella's grit in many ways. He started Virgin Records in a church basement, launched an airline despite widespread skepticism, and survived near-death experiences that would have ended most people's careers. In Ella, he saw the same fire, the same refusal to accept limitations. So when asked what he wanted for his 76th birthday, his answer was simple: bring her. And when Branson wants something, cost is irrelevant. The extravagance began long before the party. Ella didn't travel on commercial flights. A customized Gulfstream G650ER, one of the fastest, most luxurious private jets ever made, was chartered specifically for her journey from Manila to London. A flying palace cruising at 51,000 feet, with a range of over 7,000 nautical miles and a purchase price of roughly $70 million, stocked with Ella's favorite Filipino comfort foods, custom Virgin-branded tennis gear, and a handwritten note from Branson on Virgin Galactic stationery. Imagine being 20 years old, reading a personal letter from a billionaire aboard a flying mansion, being told how much your spirit inspires him. It's a moment that redefines what is possible. The flight itself, which would be grueling for most, became an unparalleled experience in comfort and luxury. Reclining in buttersoft leather seats, sipping chamomile tea, and gazing at endless clouds through massive panoramic windows, Ella's journey resembled that of a head of state. Touching down at a private Luton airfield, she was greeted by a convoy of blacked-out Range Rovers whisking her directly into London. No customs, no baggage lines, just pure, frictionless luxury. Her accommodations? The Ritz London, in one of its most prestigious suites, likely the Prince of Wales suite, a 2,000-square-foot palace of Louis XVI design overlooking Green Park, with nightly rates reaching £10,000. The suite boasted a formal dining room, cloud-like beds, Italian marble bathrooms, 24-hour attentive service, and a personal stylist ensuring flawless appearances throughout the week. Ella wasn't just a guest, she was visiting royalty, treated with the respect and ceremony befitting someone whose presence elevated the entire event. Then came the party itself, Branson's 76th birthday at a heavily guarded estate in the English countryside, with a theme blending tropical Necker Island vibes and Wimbledon elegance. Lush tropical plants intertwined with crisp whites and trophies created an unforgettable visual. Guests included tech billionaires, Hollywood stars, tennis legends, aristocrats, and global business moguls, people whose combined wealth and influence could shape nations. And in walked Ella. Wearing a stunning gown fusing traditional Filipiniana elements with avant-garde couture, she made a breathtaking entrance. Not nervous, not overwhelmed, but commanding. The room paused. Branson, known for his playful demeanor, halted the music, bypassed other luminaries, and personally greeted her. Witnesses described him as starstruck, and in that moment, age, wealth, and status melted away in front of a 20-year-old from Quezon City. The night unfolded with gourmet cuisine, world-class entertainment, and networking that most could only dream of, but the unforgettable moment was yet to come. During the cake-cutting ceremony, Branson insisted Ella join him in slicing a massive tennis court-shaped cake. The symbolism was undeniable, the old guard sharing the spotlight with new talent, acknowledging the future of sports alongside business and luxury. But the moment that will be remembered for decades came during Ella's speech. Handed the microphone, Ella began not with superficial pleasantries but with a lesson in vulnerability. She spoke about fear, the crushing weight of expectations during the SEA Games, the loneliness of the tennis tour, the injuries, the doubts in anonymous hotel rooms at 2 a.m. She revealed herself completely, forging an emotional bridge across wealth, age, and status. Then she pivoted, drawing a connection between Branson's journey and her own. She praised his resilience, his vision, his ability to shatter barriers, and then delivered the line that made him break down. "Sir Richard, you taught the world that the sky is not the limit. For a young girl from the Philippines holding a racket and dreaming of gold, your life proved barriers are just illusions waiting to be broken. You didn't just build companies, you built belief." The room went silent. The daredevil, space-traveling, iron-willed Branson was seen openly wiping tears. He embraced Ella, his voice shaking as he addressed the crowd. "I have traveled to space, thrown millions at parties, but hearing this young champion understand what we do, that is the best birthday gift I have ever received." Witnesses say executives were crying, tennis legends nodding, humbled by her ability to remind everyone that beneath wealth and fame lies human struggle and perseverance. Insiders suggest Branson sees in Ella not just athletic potential but alignment with his own philosophy. She embodies the underdog spirit, the relentless fighter, the resilient victor, qualities that define Virgin itself. Her SEA Games gold was not just a win, it was a testament to mental toughness, recovery under pressure, and triumph over obstacles. Exactly the Virgin spirit Branson admires. That's why he spent $5 million, why she received VIP treatment, and why the world is now watching their next moves closely. The speculation doesn't end there. Rumors suggest this $5 million birthday invitation may be the opening of a massive partnership. Sponsorship deals, preseason training at Necker Island, access to elite coaching, physio, nutritionists, and training partners. Resources that could accelerate Ella from a top 100 WTA player to a future top 10 contender. The implications are massive. Financial security, media visibility, branding power, and strategic guidance that could redefine women's tennis careers. With Branson involved, doors don't just open, they explode off their hinges. Ella isn't just a rising star, she's the girl who made a billionaire cry. She's the athlete every tournament director wants, every sponsor notices, every media outlet obsesses over. The potential goes beyond sports. Branson's media savvy means Ella could become a global brand, an ambassador for Virgin's values of courage, adventure, and breaking barriers. Imagine a documentary series, viral campaigns linking her story to Virgin, global exposure unimaginable for a young tennis star from Asia. Branson's personal investment transforms Ella's trajectory entirely, giving her the freedom to play, to innovate, and to fully realize her potential. The ripple effect of that night has already started. In the Philippines, social media exploded. Alex, Ella, and Richard Branson were trending across every platform, from Twitter to TikTok, from Instagram to Facebook. Fans celebrated not just her victory on the court, but the recognition she received from one of the most iconic entrepreneurs alive. One viral post perfectly summarized the sentiment. Alex, Ella winning gold was history. Alex, Ella making Richard Branson cry is legendary. And it really is. This moment transcends sports. It proves that athletes from Asia, and especially Filipino athletes, deserve to stand shoulder to shoulder with the most influential people in the world, not as mere representatives, but as equals whose talent and story command attention and respect. The international tennis community is watching closely too, but their perspective is more strategic. Questions abound about Ella's schedule. Will a potential pre-season at Necker Island change her preparation for the clay court season? Will we see Richard Branson in her player box at Wimbledon this year? Because make no mistake, when a $9 billion entrepreneur publicly invests in a player, it changes everything. Suddenly, Ella has access to the best of everything: world-class coaching, elite training facilities, unparalleled physiotherapy, and strategic guidance that most athletes can only dream about. This isn't just financial backing, it's an acceleration of her entire career, a launchpad that could propel her from the top 100 into the top 10 in record time. Right now, Ella is talented, but the jump from the top 100 to elite status in the WTA is notoriously brutal. It requires more than skill. It requires resources, connections, and strategic planning. Traveling with a full team of trainers, physios, and nutritionists is incredibly costly. Accessing the right tournaments, building credibility with tournament directors, and acquiring media exposure are all crucial components of long-term success. Without a major supporter, talented players often plateau or burn out before reaching their full potential. But with Branson's backing, those barriers evaporate. Ella is no longer just a promising athlete. She is a global story, a player whose every move garners attention, sponsorship, and media interest. Doors that would normally take years to open are now wide open. Consider the implications for branding and media exposure. Branson understands global marketing at a level few can comprehend. He built Virgin not just through innovation, but through storytelling, charisma, and strategic visibility. If he chooses to integrate Ella into his empire, the possibilities are staggering. Picture a documentary series following Ella's rise to the top 10, produced by Virgin Media, linking her journey to Virgin's values of risk-taking, adventure, and challenging norms. Imagine viral campaigns that tie her underdog story to Branson's personal narrative. Suddenly, Ella is not just a tennis player. She is a global symbol of resilience, courage, and excellence, with a story that resonates far beyond the court. The potential financial backing is equally transformative. Reports suggest that Branson might sponsor Ella's tour personally, covering travel, coaching, and tournament entry fees, effectively removing the financial stress that derails so many young athletes. Pre-season training at Necker Island could provide her with exclusive access to top-tier coaching, world-class physiotherapy, elite training partners, and an environment free of distractions. Think about it: turquoise waters, perfect weather, isolation from the chaos of the regular tour, and complete focus on honing her skills. It's a dream scenario that gives Ella a competitive advantage few players can ever hope to experience. Moreover, Branson's influence extends beyond resources. His presence alone could elevate Ella's profile in global tournaments. Tournament directors, sponsors, and media outlets are more likely to pay attention when a billionaire's personal endorsement is involved. Ella's story becomes a headline. Her matches become must-watch events. This is no longer just about winning matches. It's about shaping the narrative, positioning her as a future star, and building a brand that is virtually untouchable in the global sports ecosystem. The social and cultural impact is also profound. In the Philippines, Ella's story has become a symbol of national pride and inspiration. Young athletes now have a concrete example of what can happen when talent meets opportunity and recognition. It shows that athletes from smaller or less globally dominant nations can command respect on the world stage. It challenges stereotypes and breaks barriers, demonstrating that excellence is universal and that perseverance combined with opportunity can lead to extraordinary outcomes. And then there's the human element, which is just as critical. The emotional resonance of Ella's speech, the connection she forged with Branson, and the authenticity she displayed cannot be bought. It wasn't about fame or wealth, it was about truth, vulnerability, and courage. In a room full of billionaires, celebrities, and industry titans, Ella reminded everyone present that beyond the money, power, and influence, the essence of human endeavor is struggle, resilience, and the pursuit of greatness. That is what moved Branson to tears. That is what has people talking weeks after the event. And that is why this story has captured global attention. Rumors from insiders suggest that this is only the beginning. Branson's investment may signal a long-term commitment to nurturing Ella's career, positioning her not just as a player but as a representative of Virgin's philosophy and vision. Sponsorship deals, media collaborations, brand partnerships, and even exclusive global campaigns could be on the horizon. If executed correctly, Ella could redefine what it means to be a global athlete in the 21st century, merging elite performance with strategic branding, media presence, and cultural influence. The night of the party also marked a subtle but significant shift in how tennis and celebrity culture intersect. Traditionally, tennis stars gain recognition through their performance on court and through selective media exposure. But Ella's experience highlights a new paradigm, where elite athletes can cross over into global culture through narrative, authenticity, and strategic alliances. This is a blueprint for future athletes aiming to maximize their potential both on and off the court. Branson's endorsement is not merely financial. It's a cultural stamp of approval, signaling that Ella's story has universal appeal and that her journey is worth global attention. And it's not just about tennis. Ella's rise, backed by Branson, could influence broader cultural conversations about the global sports ecosystem. It challenges assumptions about which countries produce elite athletes, it elevates Asian representation on the global stage, and it demonstrates that talent and character can break through even the most exclusive social barriers. The implications for sports diplomacy, cross-cultural recognition, and global branding are enormous. We're witnessing a moment where sport, culture, and business intersect at an unprecedented scale. Let's not forget the spectacle of the event itself. The tropical Wimbledon theme, the fusion of tennis tradition with Branson's Caribbean flair, and the guest list of elite global influencers created a night that could easily rival any Hollywood gala. Yet, it was Ella who transformed it from a lavish party into a historical moment. Her speech, demeanor, and poise elevated the entire event, proving that sometimes one individual can command the attention and respect of an entire room, regardless of their age, nationality, or previous status. Branson's emotional reaction validated that truth and ensured that the story would resonate far beyond the attendees. The internet response was instantaneous. Clips of Ella's speech went viral, reaction videos surfaced globally, and commentary from sports analysts and business moguls began trending. This wasn't a fleeting social media moment, it was a cultural milestone. Ella's words reminded everyone that behind every success story lies struggle, that vulnerability is powerful, and that authenticity commands respect, even from billionaires who have seen and done everything. In the broader context of professional tennis, this story is setting a new precedent. Ella's experience demonstrates that mental fortitude, strategic visibility, and authentic engagement with global influencers can dramatically alter the trajectory of a player's career. Traditional pathways, junior success, ranking progression, and incremental sponsorship deals are being augmented by personal, high-profile support that accelerates exposure, builds narrative momentum, and creates unprecedented opportunities for young athletes. Branson's endorsement is a case study in how the fusion of business acumen and cultural insight can amplify talent in ways previously unimaginable. Ultimately, the significance of this event extends far beyond the $5 million investment or the luxury accommodations. It's about the intersection of talent, opportunity, recognition, and emotional resonance. Ella didn't just attend a billionaire's party, she left an indelible mark on global sports culture. She reminded the world that excellence transcends geography, age, and socio-economic status. She proved that vulnerability and courage are as powerful as skill and strategy. And she demonstrated that one speech, one moment of authenticity, can create ripples felt around the world. Looking ahead, the possibilities for Ella are nothing short of extraordinary. With Branson's support, she now has access to resources that most top 10 players in the world can only dream of. Imagine a training regimen designed by elite coaches, daily monitoring from sports scientists, a personalized nutrition plan, and full physiotherapy support at every tournament. The cumulative effect of this is not just better performance, it's the creation of an environment where Ella can reach her absolute potential without distractions or financial strain. Every match, every practice session, every recovery plan will now be executed at an optimal level, allowing her to focus solely on refining her game and conquering the next opponent. The potential partnership with Branson also opens doors for global sponsorships that could redefine the landscape of women's tennis in Asia. Companies that want to align with Virgin's brand values, innovation, resilience, and audacious ambition, may now see Ella as the perfect ambassador. Apparel brands, sports equipment manufacturers, and even lifestyle products could position themselves alongside her story, capitalizing on the attention, visibility, and inspiration she represents. This is a step beyond traditional endorsement deals. We're talking about multi-year, multi-market collaborations that could dwarf any existing WTA deals outside the very top tier. The strategic implications go beyond sponsorship. Branson's influence could shift tournament scheduling, invitations, and wildcards in her favor. His network includes organizers, directors, and media executives who can ensure Ella competes on the biggest stages with optimal preparation and exposure. It's the kind of support that allows talent to flourish without the stress and uncertainty that usually defines professional tennis. Essentially, Ella is no longer navigating the tour alone. She has one of the most influential figures in the world behind her, ensuring her path is as smooth and advantageous as possible. And yet, despite the luxury, the strategy, and the high-level attention, the core of this story remains deeply human. The image of Branson, a man accustomed to extreme adventures and unimaginable wealth, being brought to tears by a 20-year-old tennis player, speaks to the power of authenticity, courage, and vulnerability. In an era dominated by curated social media personas and calculated PR moments, Ella's genuine words, her openness about fear, struggle, and perseverance, resonated on a level that transcended status and wealth. That connection is rare and invaluable. It's the kind of human moment that defines legacies and ensures stories are remembered for generations. Ella's speech didn't just move Branson, it moved the room. Executives who never show emotion in public were wiping their eyes. Tennis legends nodded in recognition. Celebrities and influencers alike were visibly impacted. In that moment, the room understood that this wasn't about a birthday or money. It was about witnessing the convergence of grit, talent, and authentic human connection. It was about seeing the next generation of champions emerge in real time, and about acknowledging that true greatness is often accompanied by humility, vulnerability, and the courage to speak one's truth. Insiders suggest that this is only the beginning. Branson's team reportedly began exploring ways to integrate Ella into Virgin's broader ventures, including potential media collaborations, global campaigns, and strategic brand positioning. One insider even hinted that Ella could become the face of Virgin's expansion into Asia, representing not just her sport but the values of courage, adventure, and breaking boundaries that Branson himself embodies. This isn't hyperbole. If executed well, Ella could become a global figure on the scale of Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, or Naomi Osaka-style crossover stars, blending athletic excellence with global brand influence. In addition to professional and commercial advantages, the emotional impact of this night on Ella herself cannot be overstated. At just 20 years old, she has experienced validation at a scale few athletes ever encounter. The knowledge that a figure like Branson not only recognizes her talent but genuinely connects with her story provides confidence, motivation, and a sense of purpose that can fuel her career for years. Psychological support and belief in an athlete's journey are just as critical as physical training, and Branson's admiration represents a rare, transformative endorsement of her character and potential. Furthermore, the SEA Games victory that initially drew Branson's attention now carries even more significance. What was once a regional triumph has evolved into a global narrative of perseverance, ambition, and international recognition. Ella's story demonstrates that talent combined with opportunity can create historic moments. Her rise challenges traditional notions of where elite athletes come from, shining a spotlight on the Philippines and broader Southeast Asia as a region capable of producing world-class sports icons. Young athletes are now inspired, seeing a clear path from local tournaments to global prominence, provided they combine dedication, talent, and strategic support. The event also redefines the interaction between sports and luxury culture. Ella's experience at Branson's birthday party highlights a new way elite athletes can intersect with global influencers, billionaires, and media powerhouses, not as passive participants but as active contributors to cultural and emotional moments. This is a blueprint for the next generation of athletes seeking to amplify their impact, leverage their story, and build meaningful relationships with influential figures who can catalyze their journey. Ella's authenticity set a standard, proving that substance resonates even in a world obsessed with surface-level glamour. Even more, the implications for tennis as a sport are profound. Ella's rise, fueled by global recognition and unprecedented support, could inspire governing bodies, sponsors, and media networks to invest more heavily in Asian players. This may lead to increased visibility for tournaments in the region, higher quality coaching programs, and a broader international audience tuning in to follow emerging talents. In effect, Ella's story is creating ripple effects that may benefit an entire generation of athletes, elevating the sport's profile across Asia and beyond. The narrative also underscores the importance of mentorship and human connection in elite sports. Branson's gesture wasn't merely transactional, it was relational. By investing emotionally and materially, he provided Ella with guidance, belief, and an example of what it means to live boldly, challenge norms, and achieve greatness. The combination of personal connection, mentorship, and tangible resources creates an environment where Ella can thrive on multiple levels. As an athlete, a public figure, and a global ambassador for sport, culture, and resilience. Ella's journey from Manila to London, from local hero to global phenomenon, represents a new paradigm. It demonstrates how athletes can transcend geographic, cultural, and socio-economic boundaries when their talent is recognized, nurtured, and amplified by strategic allies.